Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this video is going to be a bit of vlogging and a bit of a Q&A. I did take some questions for a Q&A a few weeks back, so why not put it in as part of the April vlog? So sit back, relax, grab yourself a cuppa and enjoy. And the first one was about my guinea pig care from right back at the beginning up until now. How has it changed? What were the biggest mistakes that I've made? And I think what I might do is make a specific video on this. But as far as a brief history of the Squeak Dreams piggies, we go right back to 16 or 17 years ago, a long time, when I got my first pair of guinea pigs. So I got that bit right, I got two of them, and they were meant to be girls, but they ended up being boys, two boars that I named Ross and Joey. And they did live in a hutch and then a pet store cage for their entire life. It was sort of before CNC cages were really a thing, and before I knew much about guinea pig care. That said though, they did enjoy a lot of floor time. I remember specifically them running around my bedroom, and also they loved going out in the garden. They were the only guinea pigs I've had that genuinely enjoyed being outside, and they would just popcorn and run laps around the run. It was really sweet. After Ross and Joey, there was a gap of about a year, and in my second year of uni I got two females, Pixie and Sprite, and they were joined by two rescue girls a couple of years later called Annie and Lola. This is around the time I started making guinea pig videos, and it was Sprite that outlived the other three, and she was joined in 2015 by Twiglet, Willow and Lyra. After Sprite passed away, I had pretty much 5 years of zero piggy health problems and piggy stress, except for Twiglet's ovarian cyst surgery, which went really well, and it was kind of interesting to have that experience of a guinea pig going through surgery. And this was also the time that we designed and built the first of the plexiglass cages, and we've never looked back since. So unfortunately we lost Twiglet in early 2020, and then of course we lost Willow last year. And now Lyra is joined by Phoebe and Roxy, who we got in early August 2020. Oh my gosh, that means Phoebe and Roxy are 2 years old. The pandemic has done crazy things to time. I don't know if anyone else feels the same. And also of course Pedro, who we got last year. So that is a super brief history of the Squeak Dreams piggies for anyone who is interested. And the next question was a good one. It was, what changes would I make to my current cage to have my ultimate dream cage? And I really love this question because although I talk a lot about the cage and how much I like it, which is 100% true, there are of course always improvements, and you can always have bigger and better. And the cage is actually 70 centimeters by 2 meters. So it is about a 2 by 6 CNC cage, which is actually borderline for 4 guinea pigs. So of course, if I could, I would make it bigger. And the only thing holding me back really is this room, this house that we're in at the moment. There is just no space big enough to have a bigger cage at this time. So it will have to wait until we move, which I'm hoping won't be too long, but we'll wait and see. And my dream setup would really be a nice big room for all of the guinea pig stuff, for all of the business stuff, where I can do sewing and filming projects and have of course the guinea pig's cage. And it would be amazing to have a sort of L-shaped cage that wraps around 2 walls of the room. But I don't think I would change the design of the cage much. It would just be bigger. It would definitely have the plexiglass front on it because I absolutely love that. Anyone thinking about doing this sort of cage design, there are videos on my channel. You can find out exactly how it's built. It's relatively simple, so definitely have a look into that if you're interested. Speaking of hay, we've had our routine delivery from Haybox. I usually get 2 big boxes of hay now, and it is their Timothy blend one that I get for the piggies. I've also gotten this kind of squashed random cardboard box. So Haybox do a bunch of other products on their website as well. It's good to get some extras along with the hay. But before we get into doing that, this box needs to go under here. What's in there, buddy? Okay, Okay, so what did the piggies get? Well, first of all, I've been trying out different forages by Haybox, and this is the peppermint one. It certainly smells very minty. Look at these piggies. They're nice. And the other two items that I got are these. We've got the grass chew chain and also the mini hay bale. And these two look like fun, natural, enriching things to have around the cage. Really not sure how long they'll last. They were quite expensive, but I'm not expecting much looking at them. Okay guys, back to this Q&A, and the next set of questions is the most commonly asked guinea pig care questions, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook messages or Instagram messages. Basically the things that keep cropping up as the ones that you guys want to know most. And the first one of these that I get asked a lot is, where is my fleece liner from? And the answer to this question is, I actually made my fleece liners myself, and I do have a tutorial video on my channel, so do go and check those out if you want to learn how to make your own. They really are so simple to make, and I make mine just using materials that you can get from big brand stores, and they're basically made out of mattress protectors and those soft fleece throws that you can get. Some people do ask if I sell the fleece liners that I make, as I do with the cozy beds and other items, but I don't make them to sell, I'm afraid. I am kind of set in the ways with the materials which I know work for my cage and my setup, but I don't know how well they would work for other people, so I prefer to leave the cage liners up to other people on Etsy, other sewing people that can create them and sell them. Question number 2. Okay, I'm trying to whiz through these, but these are gonna take a while. Number 2 is, what do I do if my guinea pig isn't drinking? And this seems like a bit of an odd one, but it is extremely common, and I think a lot of people are asking it for young piggies that they've maybe brought home not long ago, and they notice that they're not using the water bottle. So for young piggies, it isn't unusual for them to get most of the water and moisture that they need through the fresh vegetables that you're feeding them. Guinea pigs don't usually have a problem with learning where the water bottle is. As long as you put it next to the pellets, then chances are they are going to find it and work out how to use it fairly easily. So it's just a case of waiting, and then eventually you will catch them using the water bottle. Now, if you have adult guinea pigs and you are genuinely worried that they're not drinking enough and they're dehydrated, one thing you could try do is putting in a bowl of water as well as having the bottles, or changing to a different type of bottles in case it's the mechanism that isn't quite working for them. But I have found some piggies do like to use both the water bowl and the water bottles, and I think they drink more because of that. So initially I introduced a water bowl to my cage because I noticed that Pedro liked drinking out of a bowl, and since then Roxy and Phoebe also like drinking out of the bowl, but they all three of them use the bottles as well, so hopefully they're just very hydrated piggies. Okay, question number 3, and there's different forms of this, but basically it's something along the lines of, is this cage size okay? And then insert cage size. So if you're wondering about cage sizes for guinea pigs, then the number 1 place I can point you is that table that is on the Guinea Pig CNC Cages website, and it sets out a really clear guide to the minimum and the recommended cage size for different groups of piggies, and it gives the sizes in both CNC grids and inches, so you can apply it to regular cages as well. And down at the bottom it gives a reminder that guinea pigs should be housed in pairs or social groups, and also that you should consider going a size up for male piggies because they tend to be more dominant. And I will also add to this, if you're looking at pet shop cages, then measure for yourself the inside dimensions of the cage, because usually online on websites and stuff they will give the outside dimensions, which of course is very useful for knowing whether the cage is going to fit in a certain space or not, but it might actually be more than the space that is going to be available to your guinea pigs themselves. Number 4. Okay, my last general question about guinea pig care is a dominance one, because these are extremely common. People are often worried about specific behaviours. They're wanting to know what to do if the guinea pigs appear to be being aggressive with each other. And if this is you and you find find yourself worrying about whether your guinea pigs are getting along or not, then I will point you in the direction to some dominance videos in the description below. The most recent one is the guinea pig fights one, so if you want to see what guinea pig fighting actually looks like, then do go and check that video out. There's quite a few really good clips that people have sent me for that one, and you'll see what a proper furball fight is. But the best advice I can offer here is to research guinea pig behaviours, know what actual fighting really is, and regardless of that, if your guinea pigs are drawing blood and they're hurting each other, then I'm afraid they do need to be split up. If they're not hurting each other, then chances are the dominance behaviours will settle down over time, but you can consider a cage upgrade, which, as I mentioned, can really help for males, but it can also help for females as well. If you have to split them up, then look at different options. It might be that you house them separately, but in a way they can still communicate. It might be that you bring in more guinea pigs, so you've got 4 of them in 2 bonded pairs, or it might be that you work with a rescue and consider swapping one of your guinea pigs for one of theirs, which might sound harsh, but it is often the best thing for the guinea pigs if they can live in a socially bonded pair. And also, don't write off a guinea pig as never getting along with others. It's very common for adult guinea pigs, especially if they're a bit bossy, to not get along with 1, 2, maybe 3 pairings that you try, but eventually there's a guinea pig gonna come along for them and that they will be able to form a bonded pair with. So again, in that situation, if you can work with a local guinea pig rescue, then they will help you find the right guinea pig companion for your aggressive, dominant piggy. From this to this. Just a little update on Lyra for you. Lyra is getting some extra TLC at the moment because unfortunately she has gotten bumblefoot, which I actually mentioned in one of my videos recently, and in case you don't know what it is an infection of the foot pad. Now it's usually a result of bad care, guinea pigs being kept on wire-bottomed cages and not cleaned out enough. However, that's obviously not the case here, so with Lyra we think it is related to her heart problems, unfortunately, and she has got an infection in one of her back feet. So the way that we're treating this is doing Epsom salt soaks twice a day. She's also on antibiotics for it, and she's on painkillers as well. But fortunately she is very well behaved and will sit nicely and have her foot soak whilst I get on with cleaning the rest of the cage. So she is such a good girl, bless her. And it's also useful to know that bumblefoot isn't just restricted to those situations where the care hasn't been as good as it should be. It can also just happen in older guinea pigs or in guinea pigs where they've got other health problems. So checking over your guinea pig's feet, looking out for any scabs or sore areas is really important. So if you don't do it already, then definitely incorporate that one into your health check. We are back with Q&A part 3, and this set of questions are ones that you guys asked about me, and I thought I would include them because A, you asked them, and also B, sometimes it is nice to know a little bit of information behind the random YouTuber that spouts you guinea pig information. And right on cue, Phoebe drinking at the water bottle. And the first of these questions is, what do you do in your free time that's not guinea pig related? And the answer is nothing, because they've overtaken my entire life. Okay, not quite. I do some other normal human stuff outside of just guinea pigs. I obviously have friends and family that I like to see and socialise with. I like to get out in the great outdoors, do some walking, explore the countryside. Exercise wise, I like to do yoga. You might have seen on Instagram I was doing Adrian's yoga challenge, and I do try and keep up with doing a bit of daily yoga. I also like to do indoor bouldering when I get the chance. I've not really done much of it lately, but that is also something that I really enjoy. So I do have some interests outside of the guinea pigs, but it is true that they kind of rule my life, and I do spend a lot of time caring for them, and obviously a lot of time goes into making these YouTube videos, especially with the editing. Sometimes it can be 10+ hours of editing editing on a single video. So yeah, the guinea pigs are a big deal. Moving on to the second question about little old me, and it's what is my profession? The answer to this is I'm an ecologist, otherwise known as a wildlife surveyor. We go out into the countryside, we do surveys for habitats and plants and protected animals, and then we go back to the office and we write reports and stuff. And it's a really varied, mixed job, and I've worked with the same company for 8 years now, and I love it. I absolutely adore my day job, and I think I'm really lucky in that respect. And I would also recommend it for anyone who is into the sciences, into animals, and wants to have a job that's really varied and you get to work both outside and inside. Definitely check out ecology because it might be the job for you. And the third and final question was, what is my favourite thing about YouTube? And I quite like this one. Firstly, as a viewer of YouTube, I really like the fact that there's obviously millions of different channels, but how it's set up that you can subscribe to people and follow them and watch just their videos if you want to. So that's generally how I use it. I don't really watch much sort of trending content. I like to follow particular people and I watch most of their videos. And there are some pet people on there, but it's also YouTube advice channels and things like lifestyle bloggers, just vloggers in general. And then other particular things like plant channels. I had an obsession where I watched loads of houseplant people on YouTube when I was having my houseplant craze, which is still continuing. I just don't watch as much of it on YouTube. And then of course the other side of this is YouTube as a creator. And I think one of the best things has to be being a part of this online guinea pig community and helping people improve their guinea pig care. And one of the best things actually is when I get messages from you guys that's a genuine thank you, appreciation for a particular video or just the channel as a whole, and just letting me know that whatever you've watched has inspired you to improve your guinea pigs' lives. And it's those messages, some of them actually make me tear up, they make me really happy, they make my day and they make it worthwhile. All of those hours that I mentioned that go into YouTube and the editing and everything, it really does just come down to helping people improve their guinea pigs' care and hopefully making more guinea pigs out there have a better life. All clean and nice. There you go, sweetheart. Look at that little waddle. Just a few more end of month purchases that I wanted to show you guys, and these are the Oxbow Natural Science Support Tabs. Basic idea of them is that they help with various things and they could be beneficial for older piggies. So that's really the main reason I've got these, is for Lyra. I got the joint support ones and I've also got the vitamin C tabs. Now I do stand by the fact that I don't think guinea pigs need supplementary vitamin C. However, the exception to this is when they get older or maybe they've got other health problems going on, and in those cases you might want to supplement. So if you decide to give extra vitamin C, the Oxbow Natural Science tabs are a healthy way that you can do this for your piggies. Unfortunately, we've already tried these with Lyra. She does like these ones, so chances are she's going to like these too. I hope so anyway. Are you looking? They're not for you. You might get a bit if you're lucky. What's this? So nice. Take it somewhere where Phoebe can't steal it. It's just hopeless. This is why I take Lyra out of the cage when I give her treats. There you go. Good girl. And as usual, Pedro is just totally oblivious to any food that makes an appearance in the cage, unless you literally put it under his nose. So that's what we're gonna do. Pedro. Good boy. And then the other purchase is some of this, which in case you haven't seen it before, this is called Vetbed, and it is basically a really soft, absorbent style bedding that vets use for ill animals, basically. It can be used for dogs and cats and all sorts of other animals. So I got this for Lyra. It was relatively cheap off Amazon. I'm going to add it to my Amazon storefront. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and all I'm going to do with this is cut off a section and pop it in Lyra's bed over there, which Pedro was just in, but that's where Lyra likes to hang out most of the time, so we're going to put a little bit in there for her. What are you doing? She's just so funny. Oh, hello. Come here. Want to say hello? Hi. You shy one. Welcome back to part 4 of the Q&A, guys, and these are some more general guinea pig questions and also questions about my very own guinea pig herd behind me right here. And the first one of these is, what is my guinea pig's favourite vegetables? Now this one is easily answered for Lyra. She absolutely loves cherry tomatoes and she's kind of grown more fond of them in her old age. As for the other guinea pigs, they just go absolutely bonkers for any sort of fresh vegetable. They don't really have a favourite. They will just scoff whatever I give them. Guinea pigs usually prefer leafy things, and they also really love fresh grass and fresh forages from the garden. So if you haven't tried fresh grass with your piggies yet, or you don't have access to it, then maybe you could grow them some wheatgrass. You will find that they go absolutely insane for it, so definitely try that one out. Guinea pig question number 2 is, do guinea pigs get allergies? And I'm really not sure of the answer to this one. I imagine that they can do, but it's probably quite rare. And what's more likely is that they might just be sensitive to a certain type of dust or a certain type of bedding that you use in the cage, which might make them a bit sneezy. So if you find your guinea pig sneezing, you could change to a different sort of bedding type. The alternative is they might have some kind of respiratory infection going on, so you could take them to the vet, get them checked out, and get them on a course of antibiotics if they need it. Piggy question number 3 was, what are my favourite / useful products to have in an emergency care box? And I'm so glad that someone asked this question because it is a really important one. If you haven't got an emergency care supply of products, then please look into getting them, because there is going to be a day when one of your guinea pigs is poorly, and when this happens, we need to act fast and we need to have supplies at home that we can use to help them. And as for the products themselves, one of the most important things is having a recovery food on hand. So this might be the Oxbow Critical Care or the Emerade Sustain, like what I've got for Lyra, or there are all sorts of other ones, usually by the same brands that do guinea pig pellets. And by having a recovery food on hand and having the syringes so you can syringe feed it to your guinea pig, you are basically helping them by stopping their digestive system from shutting down when they're feeling poorly and when they don't want to eat. And this is so important because it stops them going into gut stasis and stops further complications and really can be a lifesaver. So invest in a recovery food. And then the other product I really recommend for an emergency care kit is one of these type things, which is actually like a mini massager, but these are so incredibly great for helping treat bloat, which can be a common problem in guinea pigs, especially as they get older, and it's basically a gas buildup in their digestive system. And the massagers are the best way to practically get their system moving and get them pooping again and get them to pass that gas. So 100%, if your guinea pigs are getting older, have some recovery food food on hand, maybe some probiotics as well, and get yourself one of those mini massagers because you never know when you might need it. Piggy question number 4 is another great one, and it's what is my favourite guinea pig behaviour? Okay, this one just has to be popcorning and running laps because it is a pure expression of happiness. It is so lovely to see in our guinea pigs. If you haven't seen it yet, then wait until they're a bit tame. It's usually more common in younger guinea pigs and kind of fit, healthy adult guinea pigs, but get them out in a big area of floor space, put out some things around, and eventually you will see them just jumping for joy and with excitement, and they like to run laps around, and they'll sort of do one circuit and stop for a bit and then go and run another one. And it is just honestly one of the most hilarious things, and I absolutely love watching guinea pigs when they go mad like this. And it's Phoebe here, who is our little popcorner. She gets the zoomies in the living room, and it is just so cute and so adorable. Isn't it, darling? You seem very shy and scared, but then you just go insane, and I know you want to go back. Bless you. Okay guys, this is where I'm gonna leave this month's vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it, getting some piggy updates and hearing lots of answers to Q&A questions that were asked by you out there. So thank you to anyone who asked a question, and do continue to ask them, and I might do some more Q&As, especially if you let me know whether you enjoyed this one or not in the comments below. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next video.